Call halayim la Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Rakatah Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Bless you, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Barakatah to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of Israel. Edom on trial by the world, before the world, Salakia, before the world. When you go into the court system, and you go on trial, you're judged by 12. That's how you know that these Edomites understand the Bible to a certain degree. They try to put themselves as the Most High, Esau, Edom. So they got a courtroom with a judge, and then you have the 12 during trials. It's only during trials. You have the 12, what they call them, jurors. You have 12 jurors, you know, that judge the consequences of the actions of a so-called criminal. This time around, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 144,000, 12,000 men from every tribe from the 12 tribes of Israel are standing in great boldness, accusing, not just accusing, but accurately accusing Esau Edom of his crimes to the world, on the world. This is the trial of Edom. The charges being brought forth: forgery, murder, kidnapping, trafficking, rape, theft, and soliciting of drugs. With that, we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. And it states, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." That's the charge of murder. Once again, Ezekiel 35, verse 5, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, through slavery, through civil war, through creating the construct of gangbanging. You know, the police, the cops and robbers, you know, type of deal. You know, even to this day, we've had plenty of social videos going out that shows us how Esau Edom, without justice or even regard of life, have taken the life of many so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, Western Indians and Haitians, with no justice, no real justice to back them up. You know, that's murdering. That's one count. Let's get to, I'm trying to make these fast. I want to pull up Zechariah. Zechariah 2, verse 8. "For thus says Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye." Kidnapping. through slavery, putting us on ships. After we was driven out of our homeland because of your perpetual hatred to destroy Israel, Psalms 83, that the name of Israel be no more in the land. You kidnapped us from the West Banks, the West Shores of Africa. You put us on ships, had us being tortured, urinating, defecating, menstruating on each other, throwing us from the ships into the sea. Another charge of murder, raping our women, sodomizing our men. And that's just on the ships. Right? Let's bring up another count. Let's go to Joel chapter 3, verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, which are the northern kingdom or the southern kingdom of Israel and the northern kingdom of Israel, ye sold unto the Grecians that ye might remove them far from their border. As I just stated, off the west coast of Africa, you took the southern tribe of Israel and put them into captivity. Over here, in this part of the land, where predominantly it was inhabited by the northern kingdom, you have took, through the Spanish conquest, you took our brothers, the northern kingdom, and put them in slavery. Through the diaspora, the dispersion, the Atlantic trade slave, the slave trade of the Atlantic trade slave trade. The northern kingdom, the northern and southern kingdom was punished by the hands of the Esau Edom and the other nations as well. But we're going to focus on Esau Edom right now. This is Esau or Edom on trial. Joel chapter 3, verse 6 again. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Let's bring up another account. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 47. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Drugs, CVS, Walgreens, street drugs. All these things were put into our community by Esau Edom. The ones that had the money and the resources to make it happen. The airplanes, the cargo ships, to bring in the drugs, the enchantments, the sorceries. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Being proud, Esau. Being proud. We're getting close to the end. Like I said, I'm going to make these videos as short as possible, Lord willing. And mischief, Salakia. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. Like now, they don't understand what's really going on. all these accounts is being brought against the Edom. You didn't know that there was going to be a day that it was going to come back and bite you in the ass. All right. Once again, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. You know, you got the flocker, you got the what do they call that? Methamphetamines. You know, they got a list of other drugs that the children of Edom are being suffered by at this time in the world's history. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. You know, America, you know, since Prohibition, you know, and then they came in with the during the peace, love, you know, thing during the 60s, with everybody being doped up off of marijuana and these other PCP, you know, crack, all these other drugs since their youth, you know, since the youth of America. You know, stand now with your enchantments. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Yeah, and y'all prevailed. Y'all prevailed. Y'all was able to lock up as many people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the children of Israel, into your court system to work for you, again, through slavery, according to the 13th Amendment. Right? Let me see if I can get another one. Because, you know, your drug dealing, your prohibition, your transporting of witchcraft, you know, the charge of rape, you buck breaking men, you know, sodomy, sodomizing the men and the women, raping the women, the charge of theft and soliciting drugs. And most of it is happened by what? Psalms chapter 9, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, with the righteous? No. Shall the throne of iniquity, which frameth mischief by law. And that's how y'all continue to prosper. By your laws. And the first charge, the first account, the first charge that was written or given to you, you can find in Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are physicians of no value. That's what you did to the children of Israel. You know, you have utterly destroyed and touched the apple of the Lord's eye, the children of Israel. Even when the time, let me get that again. Even at a time when their iniquity had an end, when our iniquity had an end, when we were destroyed. During after the 13th Amendment went out, after the so-called abolishment of slavery, you know, back in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, through crack, through racial profiling, y'all kept through your perpetual hatred, you kept utterly slaying the children of Israel left and right. And we had leaders that sit up there and laugh and giggle and smile and hold hands with you to deceive the whole world. And now You know, your skirt is being lifted up for the whore you are. For the whore you are. With this account, we want to say this simple and plain that the defendant, Edom, is guilty on all of these charges: forgery, murder, kidnapping, trafficking, rape, theft, and soliciting drugs. Solution: Revelations 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, faithfully, generation after generation, until this final generation. We have patiently been waiting for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to restore to us, the children of Israel, the kingdom. Since the times of the disciples, since the first Rome. And the time draw nearer and closer, a day of darkness with no light in it. I got one more. I'm going to go back to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47, starting at 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, Salakia, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to set before it. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth, all other nations. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Okay? Esau, this is your end. And you can go to Obadiah. It's one chapter. You know, and I believe it's between verse 18 and 23. They let you know that, Slakia from Rome, but they let you know, just read to Obadiah, where it say Joseph, Judah and Joseph will be a fire and a flame, and Esau like stubble. That's your bitter end, Esau, or Edom. You know, I'm at 20 minutes, so with that, this has been Edom on trial before the world, judged by 12. With that, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone again for giving us this truth, who are the righteous rulers of Israel, in all honesty and sincerity. And to the hopeful elect, Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, endure. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, Ratazah, endure. Until next time, Shalom, Israel, Kwam, Yasharallah, Israel. You know, until next time, Shalom.